Jesus is coming soon. I can prove it intellectually speaking. I can prove it physiologically speaking. I can prove it from any aspect that you can think of. I can show you biblically how we know that these things are happening. We are seeing things in today's world that are 100% unprecedented. It's gotten to the point where things have gotten so crazy in the world in which we live that a recent poll, and by the way, we're talking about hardcore leftist liberals that are taking this poll, that basically told us that an overwhelming majority of Americans believe that we are living in the last days, and roughly 60% of the people that are polled claim to not have any belief in the Bible. People know it. They're aware of it. You don't have to necessarily make the intellectual argument, because the very soul and DNA that God has programmed within humanity gives mankind a sensitivity to the truth. We have an understanding of what we know to be true. It's been established. And it is something, quite frankly, that we have been talking about for a long time. Now, I have been teaching the Bible for just over 30 years. October marked my 30th year of teaching the Bible. And all of those years, I have been teaching Bible prophecy. What's remarkable and unique about the first year I was teaching Bible prophecy is we would drool and we would get excited and hope that we were maybe wearing diapers if we heard news that came out of Jerusalem, particularly the Temple Mount, once a year. Maybe. Today, we're getting news that's coming out of Jerusalem and the Temple Mount 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 times, in some cases per hour. Things are changing. We are going to be interviewing on the 9th of January an Israeli official directly from Israel in Jerusalem. We have been interacting with Israeli officials quite a bit because they themselves are intrigued by our biblical perspective with respect to Israel and what's going on. I have been invited on multiple occasions to spend time not only at the Knesset, but with the Prime Minister, to have conversations regarding the effect of Christian media on the rest of the world and their perception of Israel based on Christian media, because even those that are secular humanists within the Knesset recognize the influence of biblical Christianity and the necessity we've been given to combat anti-Semitism and educate people on the changes that will be coming very quickly in Israel and have been coming. I have had the honor and privilege of communicating with lots of different people. One of the most recent interviews that I got to do was with the highest ranking member of the Likud party in Israel. If Bibi had not become the prime minister, he would have become the prime minister. And to hear him live tell me on the air the work that they're doing with bringing Libya into a normalization agreement, Libya, civil war Libya, into a normalization agreement with Israel, just caused me to think, what in the world? The first foreign policy announcement that Bibi made came to us a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. What was his foreign policy announcement? At all costs, we will establish diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia. The members of the royal family of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are on board with it. And I think we have to start with the book of Revelation, because if we don't start with the book of Revelation, then building the argument that I'm going to build for tonight is going to be hard, because you need biblical precedent to be established in order to understand what I'm communicating here and to be able to develop an awareness of what exactly is formulating in front of us, right? The book of Revelation is, for all intents and purposes, a simple book to understand if you will interpret it the way that we were taught to interpret it, that Jesus gave to us through John in Revelation chapter 1. If you remember in Revelation chapter 1, verse 19, he gives us the whole key to the book. He tells John, write the things which were, the things which are, and the things which are to come. The things which were are all of the things that are indicative of chapter 1. The things which are the things we read about in chapter 2 and chapter 3, which is connotative of the age in which we are living, the church age. And then everything after chapter 3, chapter 4 and after, specifically speaks of a time that will take place when we are not here.